the BJP leaders were saying कि 1 crore को निकाल देंगे. 1 crore is going to get deleted. You actually add up now, it is arriving. I was under adjudication in Kolkata, in my constituency, where I've won thrice. My name was under adjudication and have kind of just returned to the voter list in the second adjudication inclusion.
1, 2, 3, 4
Trinamool bar.
We have been talking to a lot of voters around the BJP leaders, and they say far from them dividing and polarizing the electorate, you're doing it by saying center state, and you're polarizing the Bengal electorate. What's your answer to that?
No. You see, if you follow these speeches, which are very discriminatory, the speeches of the BJP leaders, even while the SIR exercise was ongoing, it still is, but in the initial stages, it was very clear from them that they would be removing a certain community. And they kind of branded that community, or otherwise people in Bengal are Bangladeshis, so you will be removed. Chun chun ke and all that, which they keep saying.
Certain community mean
The Muslim community.
Okay.
And it is at so very early, when the exercise had just began and we started to fill up forms, that time the BJP leaders were saying कि 1 crore को निकाल देंगे. 1 crore is going to get deleted. You actually add up now, it is arriving at almost at that figure. So they were polarizing on the basis of religion. And it is proven that if you look at data of, say, Malda or Murshidabad, which is predominantly Muslim, and you look at the number of cases, you have lakhs of cases going into adjudication. I mean, 11 lakhs into adjudication. When is anybody going to finish their job? So the point is that was there. So that polarizing on the basis of religion. And then to speak of a narrative, to say that Rohingyas, Muslims or infiltrators or Ghuspetias are being deleted. But if you actually, and we are on the ground, and if you really talk about my constituency, which is again predominantly Hindu, but here there is deletion of Hindu voters also. And it is so funny because you're deleting Mahilas, you're deleting women, and you are speaking about, you're deleting, say, non-Bengalis, our Bengalis. It's like the decimation is astonishing. It is on basis of religion, it is on basis of the languages. And the calculation that they have taken is that the BJP wants to go ahead with a stunted voter list. A voter list in which you, especially in those areas where the margins of the winning margins were narrow, maybe in 2024. So they have worked upon that, and that is how you find 60 lakh odd adjudications. And you would surprise, even I was under adjudication in Kolkata, in my constituency, where I've won thrice. My name was under adjudication and have kind of just returned to the voter list in the second adjudication inclusion. I've just about managed to get in so that I could file my nomination.
Dr. Panja, there is this SIR taking place. In your opinion, if the worst comes to worst, how many seats do you think it will cost you?
We are looking at and kind of internal reports of the BJP, which says that they are standing less than 45. So the rest of it is ours.
45?
They are standing at less than 45. Why do you think that, look, I mean, if they were so confident of a victory, then why did they have to manipulate the voter list through this SIR process and delete almost, say, 90 lakh odd voters? Why? If you are so confident, let's fight it out politically. But why did you have to do this? It is so unjustified. I was speaking to the lady just now. She had shifted before 2002. So she was not in the district list either. Her parents also shifted. And by the time she came here, she couldn't incorporate herself in 2002. But she's a citizen of India with a voter card since then. But she's got deleted. I don't have any answers to her question. We are, trying. It's so challenging for all of them. Each individual case is unique by itself, and when you are telling somebody to return by a Form 6, the entire legacy that I was voter of all these years is getting deleted. I am coming to become a new voter in 2026. And what happens to all that legacy that I had as a voter?
And
It's
as a
just
minister,
no, I'm not talking about myself. Any voter. No, any voter. This is about any
You are
voter.
irregular MLA in that case if you weren't citizen.
Then I'm an irregular MLA. But it is about any person. If he's been said, oh, you got deleted. Okay, coming through Form 6. And Form 6 always says you want to be a new voter. So that means you are just wiping out my political, the voting history that I carried. Not me, I mean that voter. It has been so arbitrary and so anomalous, this entire
Ma'am,
exercise.
with this SIR and exclusion of almost 90 lakh voters, do you think BJP is back in the game now?
Well, what we are actually going out with the message is that this is a yes, of course, you will support Mamata Banerjee, but at the same time, the voters who are now remaining in the voter list should actually protest through this, through their ballot, that this should not have happened to her neighbor or his neighbor or to the friend or the relative. So you'll have parents in the voting list, and the children have got obliterated. Or the children are there, the parents are not there. So they should actually protest for the one who got left out. So we are saying Pratibad ka bhi vote hona chahiye. It should be a protest vote of those who are there, because these people are simply bulldozing. You have frozen a list of the first phase of constituencies on the 6th of April. It's done. Now who's going to enter? The case is still ongoing in Supreme Court. Supreme Court Appellate Tribunal suddenly thinks, yes, you are all right, you should be included. Where? I've already frozen that list. There's a barrier there. And for the second phase, it will be on 9th of April. Where is the time to adjudicate all and dispose all and include some, though most of them are exclusions?
So all this SIR and saying that the BJP is an outside party, etc., is one part of your campaign. But what is the positive part of your campaign? What are you saying that you're going to bring to the table which is different from what you've done in the last 15 years?
We've spoken about our agenda, and we've highlighted the 10 points in which there is focus on health and health at your door. There's one of our outreach campaigns like Dware Sarkar, or it's called Amader Pada Amader Shamadan, and those have been very successful. So even this time, the health at your door, Dware Swasth, that is also one of it. And again, yes, we are a social welfare oriented. It's not only our state, I think our constitution also says. So that those programs will be on and ongoing. And besides that, also, promotion to industry, employment, those are all laid out. But we want to speak about how we had to survive on our own with such fund deprivation, that the G Ram G scheme that they speak out, where they got rid of Mahatma Gandhi, that scheme is here in Bengal, which of course is being executed by the West Bengal government. So those are very ordinary means of livelihood, but very important again, because there is asset building, there is development of the state, and of course it offers wages to the people.
One of the issues, if you look at the data, is that West Bengal's growth rate is just about the all India level, a little bit above, but way below many states. And you're on a lower base. How are you going to increase your growth rate? That is what's needed in your economy.
Exactly.
Right?
I'll tell you what. Another thing is the constant economic strangulation, you can say. I mean, of what is owed to the state or due to the state has not been received. That's one big thing. It is not that those are funds which are on a center state schemes or something sharing. That is due, of course. But these are also out of the devolution or the 15th finance and the 16th, etc. So those are due to the state, but continuously we have been denied. And I think employment generation, or we have our resources. We have our resources. And I think that also it is just, the larger narrative has always been so very anti-Bengal. I mean, we are always fighting that narrative. When you call a Bengali, you are Bangladeshi or otherwise. Otherwise, we have worked, we have had our BGPS summits, We've had investments and people engaging in Bengal. Yes, we've been deprived of a port. We are being deprived. You look at the union budget even this time. What is it that Bengal got? You don't give anything to Bengal, but you want votes of Bengal. That is also true. So, yeah.
Are you feeling let down by Election Commission and Supreme Court?
Yeah, surely. I mean, it goes without saying. We ran to the Supreme Court to salvage the situation. If Mamata Banerjee had not gone and stood herself, and you saw how she presented that you need to help me, it would have been worse. I mean, I don't know what can be worse than what it is happening now. What is happening now? It is so very unconstitutional. Even if one voter gets left out, you see, we have all maybe analysts all over India speaking on media saying that this is really unfortunate and should not happen. But it is happening.
Madam, other indicators like health, hospitals, I mean, your infrastructure is suffering.
No. I think we have given a impetus to health infrastructure, and there's been decentralization of health. It's not city oriented like it used to be before. So it has been. Yes, of course, we cannot suddenly outright create doctors. You need 5 years again to. So the medical seats have also increased. There has been promotion. I mean, if you have a scheme, a health insurance scheme, which is called Swasth Sathi, which is again. It is an accessible scheme. It is not a scheme if you have a fridge or if you have a motorcycle or if you have a decimal of land, you will not be in the scheme like you have the Ayushman Bharat. But Swasth Sathi has really reached out. There is help. I mean, the more, I think when the government hospitals look up or stand up to your expectations, the load increases even further.
There's a BJP ad in the newspapers saying no jobs, small scale industry has run away, no investment has come into this state. Where are you going to get development from?
We are leading in MSMEs. They couldn't have lied. I mean, they're just lying to their teeth. They have so much of money. You see, by the way, I will mention that if you are giving a person who's standing for election, the BJP is giving 5 crores. Well, you have so much money. I mean, my opponent is standing with 5 crores. That jaise bhi ho jeeto. I mean, look at the money that they have put into an election. And what are their indices showing?
Ma'am, that's not answering the question of jobs.
I will answer. Oh, the overall unemployment rate is also quite high during the BJP regime. So they should not at least be alleging and putting these false, information on paper. MSMEs, we are doing very good in MSMEs. The government at the center never rose to the idea that MSMEs could be promoted in a larger way, in a big way. The recent introduction of the MSME policy, they have realized very late, but Didi has done it much earlier. We are leading in MSMEs. You see, look at it. Look at the growth rate in MSMEs. But besides that, you spoke about the unemployment rate. Well, the unemployment, I really don't have exact statistics now. But in comparing the state average with the national average, we've done better than that. I mean, least of all, the BJP should say this.
In the last election, you are way ahead amongst women, 10% above the BJP. But amongst men, you're only 4%. So you're so much stronger amongst women. What are you doing? Because, and by the way, on Hindu men, especially upper class Hindu men, you are way behind. What are you doing to get the men in your favor?
We are explaining to them that look at the exercise of SIR where you are actually tampering with the voter lists. So it is dangerous to democracy. And if they are going to accept this, it's going to be worse again tomorrow. They have to, I mean, we do tell them that you need to look at the world outside because even the prices of gas cylinders, I mean, we need to know what is affecting people outside too. That is also very important when you decide. And believe me, when I have interacted with so-called, as you mentioned, as I said, we never categorize. They themselves do say that you must do away with this. We are happy with the independence. The very fact that there is independence or the freedom of expression, thought, and dietary habits, etc. here, that also carries a big message. And you can feel the pinch when you go to the other states. That's what they say. I mean, there's never been, there's a larger harmony between languages and religions here. I think that is very important. And of course, I think one should not be so selfish to say that, okay, my name is there on the voter list. I don't know, somebody else is deleted. You have to, one day it will come to you too. It will come to you. Why are our people who have invested or engaged with Bengal being threatened or being given a different kind of a message that don't invest there, come away to Gujarat or come away to Madhya Pradesh? Why should it be? I mean, it is the prerogative of. Why should he feel? He does everything on the a very low profile in the state, but beyond the state, he keeps a very high profile. That's not the message. I mean, if our strategic location or our resources or gateway to east or far east is so very lucrative, you should allow. But here, there is political interference in even any business investments. There is political interference. So look at what we are fighting against. It's tough to get employment going.
You're meant to be a great orator. Give us one Bengali phrase which gets a huge reaction. Shout it out to us.
এক দুই তিন চার
তৃণমূল বারবার,
এক দুই তিন চার
তৃণমূল বারবার,
এক দুই তিন চার
তাই তো বলি কি,
লড়ছে বাংলা জিতবে বাংলা আমরা করি তৃণমূল
যতই করো হামলা,
আবার জিতবে বাংলা
যতই করো হামলা,
আবার জিতবে বাংলা
মাছে ভাতে বাংলা,
আবার জিতবে বাংলা
মাছে ভাতে বাংলা।
আবার জিতবে বাংলা